Hello everyone and welcome to WSCI studio. We are here at Pro Wine Mumbai and this is a special edition because here we are to capture the experience, exposure and know more about the people who are visiting here as well as the exhibitor. And with me now we got an interesting, I can say interesting professional who is a first generation entrepreneur and he is Aditya. Hi Aditya, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You know, we were speaking earlier, space is the right space. And I think this is what Aditya is all about. So please explain, what do you mean by space is the right space?
Right. So, as a kid, I was always fascinated by space. Like, as far back as I can think, when even people in nursery school ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always answer, I want to be an astronaut. And as you know, what you grew up, I was deep into space. On TV till date, all I watch is space shows. I just watch the cosmos. When I went to college, I studied business, and along with that, I did a minor in astronomy. But you know what, as you kind of go through life, you realize that the practicality of being in the actual space industry kind of was not something that would work out for me. So that passion of space was just left with me in my heart. And later on, once I left corporate life, I really wanted to capture that passion and kind of capture that childlike passion that I had. And I feel space was the only industry that fascinated me as much. And hence, of course, kind of coming from a creative background, I wanted to get that creative industry as well as my love for space together. That's what led to the creation of Spaceman and Company, which was my first business. And it's a creative think tank. And Spaceman and Company was started with one goal. We want to capture the passion people had as children, and we want to help people create products that they're super passionate about. And of course, apart from being a full services creative agency, another product that I personally was super passionate about was the liquor space, just because of the whole storytelling potential that comes along with alcohol and the whole way people kind of interact with alcohol and the whole sort of experience that is involved in consumption of alcohol as well as marketing of alcohol. And that's what led to the creation of Samsara, which is a contemporary Indian gin brand. And the word Samsara comes from a Sanskrit word, which is sansar, which again captures my passion for space and kind of is my way of taking that, of course, space story and, of course, the Indian story from our country to the world.
Wow. So interesting journey from a curious kid about space to creating a brand called Samsara. So how was the journey? It's not very easy, being an entrepreneur, creating a brand, living your dream. So how was the journey?
It's been spectacular. It's been, of course, there are ups and downs in any journey, but every single day I wake up thinking, wow, I was born to do this, because it's all about the passion. It's all about kind of reflecting the stories that you see around you and taking those into a product. So, of course, the journey started out in London in 2019, where I attended a course in distillation, kind of got myself a little well versed with the entire process of distillation. And then came, of course, the storytelling part of it, where we crafted that narrative of Samsara and we took that product out to the market. We're only a 1.5-year-old brand, 2 years, in fact. Now we just celebrated our second anniversary a couple of days back. So we're just a 2-year-old brand in the market right now. And it's been great. The journey has been great. Every day is a learning experience for us.
Super. And once again, congratulations, because living the dream is not everybody's cup of tea. So, as you told that this is your first pro wine. So, what is there in your mind, when you finalize that, okay, you are going to be an exhibitor at Pro Wine Mumbai?
Right. So the first thing, see, it's all about community, right? Like ProWine is building that community together. And one thing about the spirits and the alcobev industry is from day one, we've always felt the love of the industry. And just to see the entire community come together and just to know the people that are there in your community is very heartwarming. It's almost, business goals aside, it's just a very heartwarming experience to see that entire alcobev community and kind of see how developed the Indian alcobev as well as the global alcobev sector has now become.
Okay. So, what was the, how is that trade show till now for you?
It's been fantastic. Met some really cool producers of different kinds of spirits, different kinds of wines. Met some great marketeers that are representing these brands. And of course, even the larger scope of, let's say, talking about voila closures or like the other corks that we use, bottle manufacture. It's just very nice to see everybody in kind of under one roof.
Aditya, tell us more about Samsara. You know what all ranges you already have, what all products you are developing, and all those.
Right. So Samsara is a brand that stands by three pillars. First one is curiosity, the second is wanderlust, and the third is self-expression. The reason we chose these three brand pillars for ourselves is because these are feelings that the entire younger India or the entire millennial Gen Z population identifies with. So when we talk about curiosity, our London Dry gin, the contemporary Indian gin as we call it, is the one that represents curiosity because that was the first product that we created, and that was the product that was all brainchild of curiosity and kind of trying to understand that what is the next step, right?
Yeah.
That whole in Hindi as you call it the jigyasa angle of it. So that's where our first product, which is our contemporary Indian gin, came about. This is a London Dry distilled gin, style distilled gin with 11 botanicals that include hemp seeds, cassia bark, juniper berries, along with vetiver grass, which kind of gives its nice earthy aroma. Also, when we were developing this product, the first one, the whole aim was to capture the whole essence of India and the flavors and the essences of India. So that's why when you taste our London Dry gin, it's almost like sipping into an Indian celebration. You can taste the rose petals, you can taste the cardamom, you can taste the vetiver, right? So it's flavors that people associate with nostalgia, people that associate with their childhood. And then carrying forward that narrative, we created the New World Experiment series. That is a series that is inspired by Wanderlust. So under the New World Experiment series, we currently have our City of Pink gin, which is inspired by the pink city of Jaipur, and like naturally, it's a pink gin. Under this series, we'll also be coming up with more gins that are going to be all representative of different cities across India and the world. And moving forward, self-expression is another brand value that we stand by because we realize that everybody today has something to express. Everybody has a personality. Everybody wants to have a voice, and everybody has their own opinions. So under the self-expression series, we created the Secret Orchard, which is going to be fruit-inspired gins. Right now, we have three flavors. We have grapefruit and rose, lemon and elderflower, and coffee and hazelnut. And of course, these are seasonal flavors. So every season, we plan to come up with new flavors. And the whole idea behind the Secret Orchard series is that there is a gin for everybody. There's a flavor for everybody.
You know, something really interesting that you got a story forward brands. So for every product, you got a story. But if you'll see last 2 years, gin is really trending. And so that's the reason why, many Indian gins are also come up. So how you think that you are different from other gins?
So first of all, whenever get asked this question a lot. For me, it's all about the taste, right? For there are people, even if I have to take name drop a few brands, like for every Pepsi, there is a Coca-Cola that is there, and then the only differentiator that is there is the taste. People come back to us for our taste. When we're talking about our contemporary Indian gin, it has a signature taste. It's not a very juniper forward gin. It is a gin that has a very characteristic taste that a person who smells it once will remember that smell and he will come back for those tasting notes. Same message we replicated across our pink gin and we replicated across the Secret Orchard series. So that taste becomes the biggest differentiator and the biggest factor that people come back to us for. And of course, then it comes to storytelling, then comes the whole brand experience that we are developing around the brand.
And what do you think, according to you, what is the future of gin?
The future, at least in India, is very bright. We are just in the beginning of the wave as of right now. There's room for tons of more brands to come in, and of course, people to kind of bring in their own 2 cents into the brand where they're trying to see that, okay, this is our take on gin, right? Because gin has a traditional definition that is there in the textbooks. Now, brands like us came and they broke that definition and said that, okay, we adhere to this definition, but we're going to build on this definition. So that's what excites me to see how that category would evolve and what innovation players are going to bring to the whole gin.
Interesting. I think it's a really interesting story. And we're really looking forward that you come up with new innovative gins and we'll keep testing all those things. Thank you for coming, Aditya.
Yes, thank
And
you so much
it
for
was really interesting
Yes.
and knowing the story behind Samsara. And this is a small gift from
Thank
us.
you.